Welcome to AO On Air. This is a podcast from ActiveOps, allowing us to present you topics ranging from operations management, leadership, technology, and new innovations. Check out all our episodes on YouTube channel AOTV or with your favorite podcast platforms such as Apple or Spotify. Now let's begin.
Hello and welcome to AO On Air, a podcast from ActiveOps. We're very excited to be talking with one of our largest technology partners today, and a gentleman by the name of Kevin Lasitz. This will be publicized on YouTube, on our AOTV channel, as well as your favorite podcast channels. So pick it up there. And Kevin, welcome. It's so good to see you again. And just maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and your role, just to introduce you.
Sure. Thank you, Michael. Always a pleasure. And thank you for having me on your show here. Yeah, I'm Kevin Lasitz. I'm a partner development manager at Microsoft. I've been at Microsoft about 9 years now in our global partner solutions team. And my role is essentially to manage the relationship with a number of our software partners like yourselves to help you really understand how you can leverage our innovation to build your innovation for our shared customers.
Excellent. And Kevin, you've been working with ActiveOps as a partner for quite a while, so you're really familiar with our solutions, I think.
Yeah, no, it's been a fantastic partnership. Really enjoyed the journey so far. And I think in particular over the past year, we've really kind of stepped up that collaboration and engagement. And I'm quite excited about the opportunity as we finish our current fiscal 22 and we gear up then to move forward into our new fiscal 23 starting in July.
Excellent. Well, great. Well, it's good to have you here, as I mentioned. So we'll focus on today a little bit over the conversation is really the partnership. I think is an important element to get across, but also may dip down into some technical elements and mention some product names just because our customers use them and probably know them by name. And we're really going to talk about the value of the partnership, but also I want to put it in context of kind of people that maybe they interact with Microsoft daily, but they don't interact with the company Microsoft daily. So operations people and IT people, HR people, and how that world is becoming blended into kind of how you run operations. And so hopefully we can cover a little bit of that. So perhaps we start with just the landscape's changed, the workplace has changed. Obviously we know that there was something that occurred that caused that, but it's really about people staying connected now, whether they're working in the office, working from home, working from a different office, working from a Starbucks or a coffee shop down the road, but staying connected and being able to still collaborate and work and be productive online. I mean, I know Microsoft has been in the mix of all that. What's your perspective on that kind of connectivity and collaboration?
Well, I think it's incredibly important. So, through the past couple of years, we've really had to adopt the ability to do remote working, right? And now that we're getting through that and people are coming back to work, hybrid work and people's attitudes have changed quite a bit in terms of where they want to work and how they want to work. And so finding, solutions that support that hybrid work environment that understands, how we can continue to foster collaboration among individuals and teams, and also from a wellness perspective, right, to make sure that people, are able to do so and in a way that allows them to manage their time effectively within normal business hours, and get the job done and kind of check in on them remotely and using tools to make sure that they're getting the work done in a way that they're comfortable with and has a positive impact on their wellness.
Yeah, and it's interesting how it's changed, and even just the headlines are actually kind of nice to see that we're talking about employee wellness, or we're talking about that kind of teamwork as opposed to just the job itself. So that's awesome. So let's start with the partnership now. So I mean, if you were going to identify three things that make this partnership strong for our customers, our joint customers, what would those three things be?
I think when I look at an organization like ActiveOps, you've got decades of experience among your teams in the operation space, globally with some really significant customers in terms of understanding what they need in order to effectively manage and work with the teams of people that they've got, both on premise and remote from that perspective. Microsoft, a huge player in the industry, incredible investment in innovation, a fantastic, kind of cloud platform and environment. And so when you look at our innovation and marry that with your kind of experience and the customer relationships you've got and the software that you built, leveraging our platform and our innovation, it really is a strong opportunity to kind of collaborate and take advantage of each of our strengths. Second one I would say is we've got a huge global network of salespeople. So having a partnership with Microsoft and having that ability then to collaborate with us and find shared opportunities where we can work together to meet our customer needs with our our unique products, our unique innovation. Which takes me to the third point, which is around the product side. So from a cloud perspective, we've got our Azure cloud, we've got modern work, we've got our business applications and clouds. So when you look at having a foundation like Azure and upon which the ActiveOps, WorkIQ and ControlIQ products are built, and Teams and Microsoft Viva, our experience, employee experience platform, you put those together with ActiveOps, ControlIQ, and WorkIQ, and you've got solutions that really can address a broad range of customers' needs.
Yeah, excellent. Well, and those are great, three powerful points. I'm glad you brought them up. I'll probably go in reverse order here. Let's talk a little bit about that last point you made with the employee experience, collaboration, wellness, flexibility. That's how people are finding jobs now. It's not just about the what was important years ago. They want flexibility. They need it, and they've come to expect it. So Microsoft Viva is one of those products that kind of is in the middle of that discussion. And somebody might confuse what we do with what Microsoft Viva is, but they're quite complementary of each other, at least the way we see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Viva is our employee experience, kind of platform, right? In terms of the positioning, and there's four components of that. So there's Viva Insights, and that's really where that I think the alliance and the collaboration opportunity, exists between ActiveOps and your products and Viva Insights specifically. But we've also got Viva Connections, Topics, and Learnings as other components there. So we focus on Viva Insights then. So really what we're doing is helping individuals, managers, and leaders, understand how they can effectively use their time within the suite of Microsoft products. So using Office, using Teams, sharing messages, helping with employee wellness and productivity and learning and other things. So it's really centered around the individual and helping the individual be more effective and productive in the use of the tools they've got and the management of their time within the day. And for managers and leaders to be able to see that, but in an anonymized fashion, right? So it's aggregated and the identity is removed. And so it's anonymized, from that perspective. Whereas from an ActiveOps perspective, you're focused more on the details of the manager's needs around specific teams and what they need to do to manage the service levels they've got and the workloads and the effectiveness of teams and work moving and assigning work between different teams so that you can do a better job. And between us as well, having different tools around that employee wellness element to make sure that teams aren't overburdened, they aren't working late hours, they aren't focused on activities or applications that aren't relevant to their jobs. And I think together we really do address that kind of left to right set of requirements that both the individual and the teams need, both from an anonymized perspective so that we understand generally how people are doing and very specifically what management needs to do in order to effectively run their teams, which is where your strengths are and your capabilities.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all centered around that employee, as you mentioned, because we had a podcast recently with Stuart Pugh that we talked about the cost of wellness, and attrition is just a killer for people trying to run a budget and run an operation and expect customer service levels. So the combination is powerful. So let's move to the collaboration word a little bit, and again, a little product focus, but we'll get on to some of the other things in just a moment. Teams. Teams obviously has grown in usage considerably, and we use it ourselves, and we've seen our customers use it. In our methodology, we deliver a series of kind of rhythm and cadence meetings, like one-on-one meetings, buzz meetings, to loading meetings, and we see Teams now as part of that delivery. So I'm curious what your feeling is around that collaboration in ActiveOps.
Sure. So Teams, I think, are our most successful product, in history, and the pandemic, really saw a huge acceleration in the adoption of Teams because organizations needed to do that to support remote work, but also that collaboration and the functionality is incredibly rich in there, and it's functionality you can use, out of the box as is, but it's also functionality that allows organizations to integrate their own applications so that there's as we say, a single pane of glass or, one experience, one portal into an organization's applications, content, and data and insights. And so Teams is hugely important to our customers and to Microsoft as a product. And the work that we're doing right now to support you in terms of integrating the ActiveOps products into the Teams suite, I think is going to be incredibly compelling, to our customers and helps to facilitate, again, that unified experience in one platform. And so when we look at, I think, a better together, kind of opportunity, it's not only the foundation of our clouds and, in terms of the products you're building, but it's also the tools like Teams that facilitate that collaboration and that one view into an organization to make it really easy to collaborate and access your applications and data and insights.
Excellent. That's great. And so let's tackle that next technology, and then we'll move on to some of the others. But the cloud, obviously, for those that don't know, our SaaS platform is hosted in Microsoft Azure, which has been a great partnership for us, both from not only from just the partnership with Microsoft, but security, delivering it reliable, all of those kinds of adjectives that are important to IT teams around the globe. But we also kind of have other aspects of the Azure Marketplace as an example. Maybe could you start by just telling our viewers what the Marketplace is and why it's important?
Sure. So, we see, and Gartner and the other folks see, an incredible adoption over the years, in terms of a place where people go to find and buy their applications. And we're quite excited in that in the last few months, we've been working very closely with ActiveOps to actually create transactable offers for both WorkIQ and now ControlIQ as of last week now, so that organizations can actually buy those applications through our marketplace. And so why do customers care about that? So for many customers, they have something that is called a Microsoft Azure Consumption Commitment, a MACC, right? And with that MACC, with a commitment with Microsoft, they are eligible typically for incentives. And those incentives could be discounts on the Azure services or Azure credits or whatever it might be. And customers can actually meet their MACC commitments by consuming the Azure services themselves, but they can also meet it by buying ISV solutions through our marketplace. So many organizations are actually building, kind of consumption plans for their Azure. That's both their internal use of the Azure itself, but also the acquisition of software through the marketplace. So we're quite excited that ActiveOps now has both ControlIQ and WorkIQ available to purchase through the marketplace, because that will help customers either meet their commitments or potentially, if they're renegotiating a new MACC, include that in their estimates and what their commitments are going to be. And maybe they increase that commitment because of those purchases and secure a better incentive package from Microsoft. So it's great. We're seeing more and more customers really want to buy their solutions through the marketplace.
Well, and that probably leads us to one of your first benefits that you mentioned, which is this kind of global collaboration of your just massive organization and our innovation and operations. I mean, how would an operations person in, say, South Africa or the UK or Hungary, wherever, what would you recommend is the best course of action? Because maybe the Microsoft relationship is on with the CIO, but how would they get involved? How would they start the journey?
Yeah, I guess two ways, right? So, in our partnership, between the two organizations, you've got a Salesforce, we've got a Salesforce, right? You've got customer relationships with the same customers that we have. So one element could be, approaching the Microsoft account team and wanting to understand, operations, kind of software that we've got out there, and finding, those solutions either themselves or in partnership with our sellers in order to find that and engaging that way. And then we can then create and share what we call referrals through a tool we call Partner Center. And that basically then shares that back out to you as a partner. Vice versa, if you're having a conversation with a customer and you see a real opportunity to collaborate with Microsoft, then you can create and share that referral using Partner Center with us. That engages our sales team and asks them to participate and look for ways that we can support each other in those opportunities. So between us, there's better together from a platform perspective, but I think there's also better together from a collaboration between our teams to make sure that we deliver what the customer needs, but also the ability to share the contacts. So to your point, we might have relationships more with, IT or CIOs or whatever the role may be. And you may have more of the operations specific, more on the business side. And the better together is also putting those relationships together to make sure that we've addressed all of the key stakeholders, engage them and address their needs so they're comfortable with our solutions, our shared solutions. In terms of the tools and the products that we've got.
Yeah, well said. And that makes sense. I think that's an interesting opportunity for businesses to capitalize, especially if we are, some would argue we're already in it. Some are saying we're headed for a recession, and that means all managers become resource planners too, because they have to do more with less. So this is great partnership. So what about the innovation side? The first bullet you mentioned, you said the innovation of our collective teams together. Do you have any thoughts on what the world may hold when we get our developers together?
Well, as I said, I think one of the interesting areas for us to collaborate on is the product integration, and that integration can be, for example, having WorkIQ or ControlIQ within Teams, alongside Viva, or it can be deep integration in terms of API integration and perhaps sharing of the data and creating dashboards using our Power BI tooling or whatever it might be within the Teams environment. So I think there's some real innovation on the products from that perspective. Other things, artificial intelligence is really important, right? And as we bring out new enhancements and new products, is making sure that we stay, connected as we are as partners, to make sure that our innovation is considered in your own product roadmap, and then our team can support you from a build with perspective in building out that new capability to make sure your customers always have access to the latest kind of capability from us as a technology platform provider, in addition to all the secret sauce and the knowledge you've got around operations management and how to apply that in that context. So I think lots of opportunity we've got underway right now, and some new exciting projects that we can have on our plate in the next fiscal that we're about to start.
Yeah, that's great. And you mentioned something there, and I was talking with a customer recently, and we hadn't talked about it, but they were exporting some data from one of our applications into Power BI and marrying it with some other data from other systems and creating some really powerful dashboards. So that's one we didn't talk about, but it's right there for everybody to take advantage of when they use both companies. So excellent point. And the partnership is available for people to access. They can go to Azure Marketplace as well and do a search, I'm guessing, on ActiveOps and find us. Is there anything else kind of online or where people could go to find information about the partnership, or is it best just to catch up with your sales reps?
I would say catching up with the sales reps in terms of, to your point, if they come to our marketplace, and that can be either Azure Marketplace for the technical decision makers or AppSource for the business decision makers, and do a search on ActiveOps, and you'll see the products there, and then they can buy them as well, which is fantastic now with the new offers. Reaching out to the salespeople in their local regions, or if people want to know more specific about the partnership, then feel free to reach out to me and at kevin.lasitz@microsoft.com, or connect with me on LinkedIn.
Yep. Very good. And as far as the elements go with the MACC credits, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but they'll know what that means. A customer would know what that means, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think from a procurement perspective, they should know in terms of they either buy direct, from yourselves as they would typically do in the past, but now they have that option if they're looking to actually decrement their MACC commitments, by the full purchase price of WorkIQ or ControlIQ, then their procurement people or whoever does the actual purchasing would go into Azure Marketplace and be able then to essentially have a private offer created by you for them that they purchase from that perspective. So rather than just a generic one, then you've got the ability in very quick time to actually create unique private offers for each of your customers, and then they see those when they go into the Azure portal, and then they buy them that way. So it really is an easy experience, and they get the full value of that purchase against their Microsoft Azure consumption commitment.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for describing that. I know it probably may be secondhand nature to you and others, but some of our customers, maybe that's great information. So anything else you want to add about the partnership, about Microsoft, that you want to share with everybody?
I just think it's been a fantastic partnership over the years that we've built, and I think just seeing you leverage our innovation and building out your products, and I'm quite excited about the Viva insights and ActiveOps alignment and opportunity, and the Teams integration. I think is going to be fantastic, and what a lot of our customers are really asking us to work with our partners like yourselves to make sure that your applications are there within Teams and they can access it from that perspective. And then on the innovation side, so looking at artificial intelligence and other things that we can do to continue to add value, again, with the insights and the dashboards. And I really think, by focusing on that better together story to make sure that our shared customers really do maximize the benefit from our platform and our applications as well as yours to deliver their left to right requirements in terms of what they're looking for to effectively manage their teams, but also from an individual perspective as well. And as you said, it's not just about workforce management, it's about employee well-being as well. And I think together, with the need and the focus for that, in particular in a hybrid work environment, I think we've got a really powerful story together, and I'm quite excited about what that's going to lead for us and mean for us in the future here.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a nice way to end it, because you focus it back on the employee, which is really what managers and VPs and CIOs and COOs are looking to do anyway. So very good. We really do appreciate the partnership. You mentioned it. We do appreciate it as well. It's fun to be sitting alongside the Microsoft teams and finding out what the innovations are coming and how we can integrate it. So it's an excellent partnership, and always good to see you. Do you have anything fun planned for your summer vacation after you wrap up your year?
Yeah, I'm originally from Toronto, so I'm heading to Toronto on July 22nd and spend some time with my family and up at the cottage, and maybe a little side trip down to New York as well. And then I got a nephew's wedding in Brazil at the end of August, the beginning of September. So heading down to Brazil as well. So a couple of nice vacations coming up to look forward to. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. That sounds a lot of fun. Well, have a safe and wonderful summer. Kevin, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. And we look forward to talking with anybody that has an interest. We can put you in touch with Kevin. He gave us his information earlier, but we can also introduce you to him. You can go to our website and go to our resource hub and read out about our applications. You can also go to our partner center and learn more about our partnership with Microsoft. So thank you very much for joining, and everybody have a great day.
At ActiveOps, we call it Management Process Automation, or MPA. MPA helps managers make better decisions by providing a consistent, easy-to-understand view of capacity and productivity. MPA does the hard work of consolidating information, forecasting and planning, and even gives you visibility of skills and capabilities across your enterprise. Your managers can make decisions based on a complete picture of their operations and then get back to leading. As work progresses, MPA helps managers spot problems early and deal with them proactively, celebrate successes properly, and match resource to workload in real time. By making managers more effective, MPA reduces operational costs. Best of all, the right MPA tools make it possible to deliver all these benefits across global enterprises with thousands of employees. Solutions like Workware Plus from ActiveOps. Workware Plus builds on our 20 years of experience supporting service operations to give you a 360-degree view of your operations, helping you turn operations management from a guessing game into a game-changing source of efficiency and value. Employees are empowered to manage their days and weeks feeling accomplished, confident, and able to balance work and personal life. Wherever your organization or customers live and work, ActiveOps is ready to help you deliver world-class service and employee engagement to help your company thrive. ActiveOps. See further, know more, move faster.